Hello, and welcome to Jordan School District's EdTech Management System using Learn Platform. I'm Ross Rogers, and I'm a digital learning specialist here in Jordan School District. And one of my responsibilities in Jordan School District is to manage Learn Platform and how we utilize that within our district. So, in today's session, we're going to talk about different things. First off, we're going to talk about how do we create a manageable teacher request process for getting websites, programs, extensions, add-ons approved for use in the district. And what is that process of doing that? We also needed to look at how do we vet these programs? How do we make sure that the evaluations done on each website or the programs or extensions are done the same across all of them? And so we needed to look at that. And then we also wanted to make sure that, like I said, it was done with good fidelity and everything is just, we're looking at it at the whole picture of all of the different programs. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. How did this come about? Well, this came about because of a state law that required that any website, program, extension, add-on that had a login or requested information, and part of that registration process asked for student data like any personable identifiable information, or we call it PII, was reviewed and was acceptable within the state law. And so that is why this has taken place. So before we get started, I just wanted to share you this tidbit. Last year in Jordan School District, we had 3,684 different EdTech tools accessed by students and educators. And that's a lot of tools to look at and to manage and to review and approve or deny or everything in that whole process. And so this is a lot of work to do. And I know our numbers are even higher this year of this. So it's just a lot of work. So let's look at some of this information. Why we needed a tool to be able to manage that process. And so what actually happened was the state came out with this idea of let's use some programs to help us. And there was several that were out there. And in Jordan, we chose Learn Platform. And by using Learn Platform by Instructure, this helps us actually see what is being used in our district. So we can actually go through and look at what our teachers and students actually going to. We also now get a very clear idea of the data, the student data privacy, any of the security information that's going on at these websites. We're also have the ability to build our own personal library of vetted material that we have approved or denied. It also gives us a place to manage our DPAs, which are data privacy agreements with the different websites. And with Learn Platform, we have the ability to actually set up reminders. So when it expires, it's going to remind us 30, 60, 90 days, whatever we choose before, so that we can start that process of renewing that DPA if we want to, or we might choose to let it go. So, And then it gives us a centralized and a standard way to handle the teacher requests for websites, tools that they are using in the classroom. And so that is something that Learn Platform does, and that is why we decided to go with Learn Platform by Instructure. So when we start looking at our data, you can see here that 20% of the tools that were used were actually approved within our library. And so that shows that like 3,000, a little over 3,000 resources students and teachers were accessing. And no one at the district level has looked at them to see, are they okay? Are they safe? Is this something that we want them going to? And so with Learn Platform, this gives us the ability to now start looking at this data and be able to use the resources within Learn Platform to start vetting those websites or maybe denying them. And so that's why with Learn Platform we have a look at the bigger picture now that we didn't have before, because of the tools that we're using within Learn Platform. So let's go into a little bit about what we do with this. So what we decided to do is through the help of Instructure and Learn Platform, we have created our own Google form that really we created this form, but it's within Learn Platform, and it is a form that we created the questions that we wanted to ask the teachers, of why they wanted to use this, how does it tie to curriculum, give us a link to the privacy policy so that I don't have to go look it up again, which I still have to most of the time, but it's still, some of the times the teachers find it and I get to do that. And so we get to have that custom form. So it's not Learn Platform giving it to us. We built it with their help, and they're more than willing to help us along the whole way, which they did. But the questions were from us. It also gives us, because we created that form, every website is being evaluated off of that same process. And so it's not like I'm looking at one and saying, oh, I'm just going to approve that one. Yeah, I love that one. No, it goes through the exact same steps of vetting as any other website. Another thing that comes up is through the beauty of Learn Platform, when we go through this vetting process, Learn Platform tells the teacher that requested it, hey, your your website that you submitted, they're in the review process right now. Because the minute I start reviewing it, it sends them an email. And then when it gets done, it sends them an email stating it. And what I love about this, it doesn't tell them your website was approved or your website was denied. It tells them your website has been reviewed. Please return to Learn Platform to look at the results. So it directs them right back to Learn Platform so that they can look and verify, and so they're not getting an email here or that and it changes. No, they have to go back to Learn Platform, because Learn Platform is where the current status of that website is at. With that, we can use Learn Platform to communicate that it was approved or it was denied. And if it was denied, why? Why was it denied? These are the criteria of why it was denied, so that they don't question, like, fine, you're blocking it, but you're not telling me why. Well, now we are. So this is so powerful in explaining to teachers why that was what was going on. It also, through the use of Learn Platform, it gave us a tool that made it easy for us to roll it out to staff and to all the different principals and teachers so that everyone was on board and everyone was had the knowledge of what to do. Um, and so it started that process, and Learn Platform has been by our sides 100% of the time. And that is something that I have truly been thankful for, is as a company, Instructure is there 100% of the time to help us with any questions or issues or ideas. So I love that. So, how does this happen within Jordan? Well, I'm going to obviously I have the slideshow, and it goes through some of the bullet points. I'm going to try to cover them and more. In Jordan School District, one of the first things that we did is we also created a website, which you'll see here on the right, that gives them the resources on how to do the Learn Platform process and who to contact if you have questions. Um, One of the first things that happened in Jordan was the law came out and said you only have to submit things that students register for, where they're going to be submitting any PII. And that's how we launched Learn Platform. And it caused mass confusion in the district because I was getting phone calls and emails and people stopping me when I'm walking down the halls of the school saying, now, is this what I go to submit to Learn Platform, or I, or does it not need to be Learn Platform, or what? Just tons of confusion, and I was getting it from principals, I was getting it from teachers, even staff members in the buildings and at the district level, in the district office. Everyone was like, "We don't know exactly what goes in." So I reached out to my student data privacy officer, who is the ultimate boss of Learn Platform, but he's over multiple things. And so I'm really the admin of it. And then when I have issues, I reach out to him. And he basically told me, he says, well, Ross, I was trying to save you from getting a ton more work. And I told him, I'm like, I'm already getting the phone calls and emails. So let's just move to putting everything in Learn Platform. Because in our district, we have our federal filter that blocks all the inappropriate sites and stuff. But it doesn't really tell them why. It just says it's blocked for some generic big idea. And security is what mainly, security. And that was causing more confusion for our teachers and staff. So with Learn Platform, we now in Jordan District, everything goes into it. Every website, every program, every extension, whether there's a login on the page or not, it goes into Learn Platform. And so those websites that don't have any login, it's very simple and easy for me to approve because they're not getting any student data privacy, they're not getting any advertisements, stuff like that. It's very easy to approve. But what it did is it cleared the air, and all of those cobwebs were taken out of the corners, and the administrators, now it was so much easier for them just to say, everything goes in Learn Platform. The other thing it did is our information systems was much easier and on board now because they could say, if it's not in Learn Platform, we're not even going to look at it. And so their number one answer is check Learn Platform. If it's not there, then we can't even touch it. So you have to go through the student Learn Platform first and get it reviewed for student data privacy, and then we can look at maybe opening it on the filter or not. And so it was really, really awesome to see that come together. And that helped the process also. Now we're getting out and educating the teachers on why we need to go into Learn Platform, why we need to go in there to look, because the website that you're using might already be submitted from another teacher and it has already been approved or denied, and it tells you the reason why it's denied so that you then know, oh, I can't use that website. What also that did in Jordan School District is it actually started the process of thinking about student data and student data privacy, because that was something that teachers, I'm not going to say they didn't know, but when you get things added to your plates and added to your plates, some things go the wayside because there's only so much space that plate can hold. And so sometimes as teachers, we forget because there is too much to remember all of everything we have to do. And so with Learn Platform, we were able to keep that out in the minds of teachers. It's something that we're constantly reminding them through district emails, through our communications, through our visits and trainings. Make sure that you put it in, that things are in Learn Platform. Our administrators get reminded of it quite often. And so it really gave them a way of finding out what was there. On the flip side of it, because we have all of these websites going into Learn Platform, you can also go into Learn Platform and search a tool and say, oh, that tool is denied. Crap, what am I going to use to replace? So then you can go in and through the filtering of it, find other tools that are approved on the same subject or on the same topic. And so it also helps teachers find tools to use in their lesson or in their classroom. And so that was something that was also very, very powerful in teaching teachers that it's not just another thing to do. This is an actual tool for you to be able to use. So because of the way that we started with these requests, there were things that needed to change. We needed to update. And so things that started to happen is, you can see here some of the other things that we did. This were classroom teachers were kind of didn't know what was going on and all that. So that was, I'll skip this page because we really just talked about it. Here are some things that we think we needed to start working on. So there were things within here, within our platform that weren't working, like our request system. We needed to revamp it because sometimes when I was reviewing something and I had a question on the privacy of it, I needed to forward it on to my student data privacy officer. And then I had to open up my email, send him an email, and wait for him to respond to it, which was confusing. So now what I can do is I can just click a button in the workflow, and the system is now going to send it on to him and say, you have 5 days to review this. And then once he reviews it and says he approves or denies, it then comes back to me to do the final approval, which is wonderful. Sometimes the website that's being reviewed is in direct conflict with the program that the language arts department just purchased to do training. And so I want to send it off to the curriculum specialist that's over language arts and have them review and say, does this meet our standard or does this conflict with what you're currently using in your program? And so I want to get the language arts consultant to make that decision. And so with the workflows, I was able to click a button and then it would automatically go over to them and say, you have 5 days to review this. They do their review, send it back, and then I get a notification that I could finish the workflow and then do the review and post it. So those workflows have been set up. We've worked out some of the bugs, and right now going pretty good. The next level of details is we are now at the point where administrators in the buildings are saying, how can I leverage Learn Platform to show me what is being used and what's not being used? And so Instructure has just created building level administrator access. And so we are currently working with our cabinet to select a date, and we're just waiting to hear back from them, hopefully today, if we can do that training next month with our principals. And the beauty of this is as soon as I get a date, I reach out to Instructure and my Learn Platform team and say, this is the date of our training. And then they go through and they set it up. I give them a list of here's all the principals, here's all the vice principals, here's my digital coaches that I want to be set up as a building level admin. And now they all have the ability, they'll get their login, and then I can go in and show them the next day, this is how you access it on Learn Platform. And now they can go in and pull reports for a 2-week period, a month, 6 months, or the whole year and see what data is being used at their school. It only gives them access to the data of their schools and their teachers, and that report does not show any student data tied to a student. It does pull all the student data, but it never shows a student name. But for the teacher wise, it does. So the principal can actually pull up down to the individual classroom and say, I purchased this software for this teacher, and are they using it? So they can go in and pull it for the whole year and say, oh, they are using it. I will renew that next year for them. Or maybe the contracts just come up and the principal wants to say, did they even use it? Log into the Learn Platform, pull it for that year, and you can say, they haven't even used it at all. So I'm not going to renew it. So it gives the ability for site administrators to be able to see and make decisions at their own site. They can use this data to go in and do analysis on what is being effective in their schools and what is not. They might look at it and say, I don't want my student or teachers using these websites, and can make those decisions based off of what they pull from their data within Learn Platform. It also gives the ability for a digital coach or / instructional coach to look at this data and say, wow, I didn't realize how high of use we had on this product. Maybe I need to talk about that in faculty meeting and see, is there more training that we need to provide on this tool that I didn't even realize the teachers were using. So it opens up that door to be able to utilize this to find out what types of training I can do in the buildings. And so it becomes a really powerful tool to help teachers, students, and administrators access and use that data and submit and get requests done. One other thing I want to talk about, in Jordan School District, we are a very open district, and we want to be very forward facing to our community. So our Learn Platform library is public. And so our students, our parents, our teachers, our administrators, our community, our business community, all have access to see what has been reviewed, approved, denied in Jordan School District. And I say this, because we actually had a business that was denied on our website, and they called and said, why are we denied? Our website is an educational tool written for teachers to use. And I explained to the business owner, it's because of your privacy policy. Your privacy policy and your terms of service are the binding contract on the law on your website. And when you list items in your terms of service not for use under the age of 18, that cuts out all of K-12 education. And then other terms that we had to talk to them about of, we sell your data. You have to guarantee that that the data that you receive is private and you don't sell it, you don't share it, you don't do any of that stuff. And so I worked with that business owner and we were able to help him recreate his terms of service and his privacy policy to eliminate the things that were stopping his website from being approved. And he then updated that on his website, which is the legal place we have to go off of. And as soon as I saw that it was updated, I was able to go in and change the status and Learn Platform. And that business owner was very happy and didn't know how the privacy policy in terms of service could stop a website from being used based on what information they put in that. And so it was very enlightening for him to realize and be able to edit and change that just by looking through the Learn platform of Jordan District to see why his website was blocked. So with that, that is a quick overview of how we use Learn Platform in Jordan School District. I just want to say, first of all, thank you. And I also want to let you know if you want to learn more about Learn Platform, please reach out to me. You can get a hold of me very easy by going to the Jordan District website, and you can look up my name and you can get my email address, my office phone number. I am more than willing to work with any district in the state or even outside of the state to help you with questions that you have about Learn Platform, the process that we went through to get things set up, the process that you're thinking about, how whatever resource I can be to you, I want to be available to you. So if you would like to learn more about Learn Platform by Instructure, obviously reach out to Instructure. They sell it. But I am more than willing to help you if you've already signed up for it and just need ideas on how to do things or can you share your documents. By all means, I am here to help you be successful. Thank you for attending this session on Learn Platform, and you have a wonderful day at USET.